Dear Kristin, I guess you will be wondering why we couldn't Skype or on which plan we will be working. I am sure that our collaboration will turn into something interesting, but it needs to get shape. Of course, it's evident that our So here is a response. I want to tell you about my quest in search of bus number 23 during my time in Tallinn. Maybe you've heard it already, I don't remember. On the way back from Raya to Musa, I recorded a little piece of the bus which Izzy, Aisha, Naomi and I were taking. It was one of the first days I was using Gerdy's Zoom to record the sound. It was bus number 23 coming from Kadaka. That bus just sounded amazing. It reminded me of the work where Jan Tomik is dancing on the engine sound of the boat he's on, techno. I decided I wanted to make a work with this recording. The fragment was quite short, so I wanted to take a better one. Weeks later, I went to the bus stop at Kunsti Akademia. What was I thinking? To catch bus number 23 again. It was not the same one. It sounded as a bus should sound, not broken at all. I waited. Another bus, another bus, another bus. But none of them was the right one. I took the next one and drove to Mustame. I was wandering for hours near the bus yard, waiting for the right bus to pass. It was getting very cold and I was waiting at the stop to go back home. All of a sudden, a bus stops at the red light across the street, and I couldn't believe it. This was the right one. I was just in time to remember the number plate. TAC 133. The next day, I went to the transportation office. They are located at Vabaduzevaljak, on the highest floor. I felt like entering a Kafka story. Big turning stairs which didn't seem to end. They have a big office with a low ceiling and it seemed to be very busy, but they immediately found some time to listen to my story. They had to smile and then started to make some calls, and after 5 minutes they could give me the exact time schedule of the bus I was looking for the next days. I found the bus and drove several times from Tallinn bus station to Kadaka and back. In the end, it turned out that my first recording was the best one. This circling through the city, though, was very important to me. I was just sitting there on a bus, looking at the city and its outskirts. No one told me to be there, and I was not on that bus to get from one point to another. I was just there, moving around. The idea of the circle movement, a loop where you can't get out, stayed with me, as did the idea of a place or the distance between places. When I came back from Tallinn, my thoughts were clear and sharp. It made me capable of making good work. Something that had inspired me directly was a trip to Lapland. When we were driving back in the bus at night, everyone was asleep, and I was looking out of the window. The only thing I could see was snow and the lowest part of the trees lit up by the bus lights, only dark forests and snow. I almost felt a click in my mind. Aha. Here in Antwerp, in Belgium, I need to be able to somewhere else sometime. Practically, this is getting more difficult since I am not a student anymore and I need to work and try to save money. That's why I'm larger time scale than only a few weeks ahead. Now I've decided I want to go to Alaska. I will be totally honest now how I see plant life into this. We could go on an expedition. Our first idea was to travel somehow with a plant and to bring it to a certain destination. I think we should know very well what our statement is, what we believe art should stand for. Soon you will see all of this on film, since you are not here. Take care. Greetings, Jane. Dear Kristin, I was asked to give a talk or to do a performance at Integrated. I spoke to you about this, and I'm sorry that I never replied to your idea to go to a botanical garden at the same time in a different place, looking for the same plants, being on our way, on a train, using Skype to communicate with each other and the audience. This idea aspects that are interesting, like the fact that are so many kilometers apart, you in Estonia and I in Belgium. It would have made a direct connection. Anyway, now it's too late to use this. Still, I think it's a good opportunity to introduce our project to an audience. We should talk more though. I wonder how you see it. When we met up this summer in Tallinn, you said we could work it out next year in August, the month, not the bar. I will come straight to the point. I want to go on an expedition. We both agree that walking is a very good way of being. If you haven't, you should read Werner Herzog of Walking in Ice. An expedition isn't just hiking around a little. You have a goal, and you need to be well prepared. But when we found those plants on the streets in Brussels, all of a sudden we were on a mission too. Reality had shifted. We were on our way to save our new friends, the plants. I guess they might have been dead already when we found them, but this only adds to the absurdity, which doesn't make it less serious. An expedition asks for a good physical condition. I will have a lot of work, but also a goal. We could report our trip in a logbook, film it, make sound recordings. What would we look for? We could go and meet a botanist in Poland or plant seeds somewhere. I would like for transportation not to fly if possible. My favorite plant is a pine tree. I wouldn't mind doing a project about pines. I met someone from Sweden who works in a pine nursery garden. I don't have his contacts, but just for the idea. My really big aim is to go to Alaska someday, and with someday I don't mean over 50 years. You would wonder what all of this has to do with art. Sometimes I wonder myself. I notice that my interest in how to make work has shifted. This started 2 years ago during my Erasmus in Tallinn. I got interested in sound. It creates space, it moves through space, it's immaterial. This year, by being out of school and having a studio, I found out I'm not a studio artist. Aha, just an idea. I had to think of it because we talked about the city and nature and what we missed here in Antwerp. I don't see us as a performance duo. Recently, I noticed several performance duos all around me. Although they have very interesting work, I do not think it's for us. Maybe that's not true. It could work. Somehow you are already involved in this performance without you even knowing it. This will reach you with a delay. Greetings, Jane.